Secret entrance. Nightingale stumbled along, tired from such a long and difficult day. Slime and dirt coated her from crawling through the tunnels, and her hands were starting to feel unsteady. You know, I've changed my mind on the whole complimentary pest control thing, Zeke grumbled from behind her. That was a severe monster infestation. If they'd tried to escape in these tunnels, they would have been eaten alive. We should be getting paid for this. They were all crawling now, as this most recent stretch had gone from cavern to tunnel. At least there weren't any places for monsters to hide in the cramped space, and so far, no more attacks. We can trade the service for information, Nightingale whispered back. A pile of dead monsters for one insignificant Theodosian mage. It's basically a steal. The passage twisted around another bend, then came to an abrupt stop. At the end of the tunnel was a large flat stone. Light glowed faintly at its edges. Hey, it's the end! Remy stopped, though there was little space in the corridor to get a good look. No room to move around, certainly. Guess we just push it? Rook nodded. Sideways, like this. It's probably right against the floor, maybe behind something. We'll have to really put our backs into it. Remy twisted sideways, though there wasn't enough room for Rook to go past her completely. They were all about to get quite cozy. Just don't squish my wings. Count of 3, yeah? Zeke said. They all got ready, cramping up against the exit and bracing as best they could. 1, 2, 3. The wall segment wasn't up against something as Rook had suggested, nor did it grind slowly out. Instead, it offered no resistance at all, shooting them out of the tunnel like a cork from a bottle. The passage came out about 6 feet above the floor, and they landed in a tangled heap, bruised and moaning. Nightingale whimpered, squirming sideways to get out of the pile while nursing her bruised tail. The room looked like a cellar, packed with shelves, crates, and barrels. Shadows of storage containers stretched along in the dim glow of a handful of tiny glowstones. As they regained their bearings, they noticed that they weren't alone. A few feet away from them, a young man had dropped a heavy cask in surprise, spinning around to look at them. He wasn't dressed like a servant, but in a coat of black and violet left open exposing his chest beneath. There were red gemstones woven into the fabric. His eyes shone with the same red as the gemstones. The hell! Nightingale scrambled back, struggling to right herself against the stunning force of her fall. We can explain! Oh, I bet you can. The stranger's deep voice held a cold anger, his words slow and confident. You've come to finish the job your blighted wretch could not. He reached up, tugging a pair of faintly glowing pendants from around his neck. You won't leave here alive. Stop him! Rook jerked forward towards the man, but couldn't free himself from the tangle of his friends. He's calling an Esper. Zeke was up with his weapon drawn, but he couldn't close the distance in time. The man raised his voice to a shout, though he didn't seem to be talking to them. Titus, Quinn, Rivka's son requires your service. Brilliant light flashed, and wind rushed around him. By the time Rook managed to get to his feet again, 2 menacing twin Savani stood at the ready, massive shields held high.